Hey, Phantomaniacs! It is the day after Thanksgiving, for me anyway, and instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but instead of spending a ton of money on stuff, I'm going to be sitting here today assembling this new 900-piece Mechanical Spaceman set from JM Bricklayer. Full disclosure, I was contacted by JM Bricklayer. They said, "We dig your content. Would you be interested in reviewing one of our products if we send it to you?" And I said, well, sure I would. I mean, I've always enjoyed building brick sets. It's just something that space-wise, money-wise, it's just not anything that I can get into anymore. But I love these kinds of projects. And like when my son was really deep into Lego, I loved it because it gave me an excuse to buy all these incredible sets and we'd sit down and build them or whatever. But, you know, it's just not something that's part of my everyday collecting. So when they contacted me, I was like, yes, absolutely. That would be really cool. I'd love to do it. Without thinking, I don't know how to shoot a building bricks. I don't know how to shoot a building bricks assembly and review. And after talking about it with my son, it was like, well, I don't need to do the full, because this is 900 pieces. This is going to take me hours. And this thing is heavy, by the way. It's quite a substantial set, and I'm excited about it, but I don't need to do a full, 8-hour build and then time lapse it down to half an hour or whatever the case is. So if that's what you're here for, that's not what you're going to get, just because that's not how I would do a review. But what I am going to do is open it up, show the pieces, and check back in throughout the build to show progress, to talk about the difficulty level. But this thing, I mean, it looks like it's actually an articulated figure. And that's, originally they were going to send me a car, which I thought looked really cool. It's like an old-timey car that they have available. And I was like, yeah, sure, that would be fun. And then they actually did contact me back and said, hey, after taking a closer look at your content, we think this might be a better fit for you and your viewers. And I was like, whoa, you actually did look at my content. So cool. So we've got a spaceman here, and we're going to open it up. First of all, this thing just looks really cool. I love the fact that it's got, it's one of those like cut in half or cutaway type deals where you've got the exterior detail of the spacesuit on one side and then the mechanical details underneath on the other side. Like, this is, regardless of anything else, this is going to be a cool thing to have on display. Like, this is exactly the kind of sort of unique novelty type item that I like to have to add to my collection. Like, this is, if I'm going to buy a one-off of something that's not a standard action figure or toy or whatever, this is exactly the kind of thing I'm going to want to get. I should mention that you can go into the comments and get a link to order this set for yourself if you so desire, as well as many other JM Bricklayer products. But I will also mention that, you're going to get the real deal here. I think anybody who's been watching my stuff knows that I give, I say how I feel about things. I am 100% honest in my reviews. I'm going to have to get a different box cutter out here. The tape is sunken in a little bit beyond the reach of my nice little green deal. All right. So again, this is, I was surprised at the weight of this thing. It's pretty substantial. So looks like every other brick building set you're familiar with. It's got bags and bags and bags of stuff. Pretty decent cardboard, sturdy cardboard on the box because it has to be. As I said, this is heavy. I've got the big instruction book here, and that removal tool, which I'm very relieved to have, because the two stages that will occur with every single brick building set ever are, oh no, one of the pieces is missing, and oh no, I put this thing in the wrong place. Like, for me anyway, those two things are inevitable. And this helps with the latter. These I love. Look at these beautiful, like chromed out vac metal looking pieces. This is the stuff when they said, hey, we're going to send you this instead. My eye, I mean, if you guys know me, you know my eye immediately went to this stuff. So that, we're going to set that off to the side. Oh, lots of little teeny tiny pieces. 900 pieces. There's his faceplate, or I guess their faceplate. Try and get the instruction manual flattened back out a little bit. I mean, this is a book. This is a tome. So some of the bags are numbered. The chromed out bags are not. I think because their pieces stand out enough, so you're going to know when you need those. So that is bag number 1, 2. Oh, that is also a 2. Oh, this is, oh, it's for, it's been a long time since I put anything together. So it's the stages of the build is how these bags are numbered, which is very nice. So these are second stage. These are first stage. Those are fourth stage. 4. Those are decoed. So it looks like the decoed pieces don't get numbers. That is first stage. So the first stage is all the little teeny tiny pieces, it looks like. Well, that's first stage. And look, as I'm parsing these bags out, this is feeling less overwhelming to me. Because I'm seeing, okay, you build it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I sadly admit defeat to the massive brick building set. Okay, so there you go. Not as overwhelming now that it's broken up into 4 sections. So let's take a look. Scoot those up just a little bit. Take a look at the manual. Oh man, look at that thing. This is going to be so cool. Schematic diagram of astronaut structure. I already love this verbiage. More than 10 movable joints. So this is going to be an action figure when we're done with it, which I love. So this is usage of brick separator tool. So that illustrates how to use that. And then here it is, bag number 1, and shows you what you're going to build with bag number 1. And it's time to get down to business. So, like I said, I'm not going to just sit here and record this for 8 hours because I just can't even. But I will go, I'll do a little bit, move on, do a little bit, move on, and we'll just see how this thing goes. Like I said, this is a new experience for me doing this kind of detailed assemblage of anything. So it's going to be a learning experience for me and hopefully fun for you guys watching. Okay, so just to check in after the first little chunk we've put together here, everything fits well if you paid attention, because there'll be a little time lapse here and there, but like I said, I'm not going to record every single step of this. What I'm going to do is finish part 1, talk a little bit about it, and then start on part 2. There'll be a little bit of time lapse there, and then finish that. I'm going to get through this the most efficient way that I can, like I said, without doing a full 8-hour assembly, 8 hours of recording. So everything fits together very nicely. There's not, I've made all kinds of building sets over the years from various brands other than Lego, who, I just mentioned Lego because that's the gold standard. That's what everybody's familiar with. And sometimes they don't feel great. Sometimes they don't fit together great. Sometimes the plastic doesn't feel as sturdy. But this has the same general feel The way the pieces go together, it has that feel to it, the quality feel. It does not feel like one of the, to do a comparison, the Forever Clever G.I. Joe sets that came out a few years ago. Those do not feel like quality plastic, and they do not fit together in a way that's satisfying. These feel legit. It feels like a good quality product. So far I'm having fun, and I'm impressed with the quality. I'm impressed with the fit. The instructions have been easy enough to follow. Everything's good. We're on track. So that's a little drop in, a little commentary. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the rest of this. If I feel the need to stop and talk again, I will. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to film the whole however many hours of assembly this is going to take. So for me, I'll check back in a little bit. For you guys, it'll be like right now. So I'm just coming in with a little handheld to keep it nice and easy. When you're doing part selection, I like that they've got the little sparkle on your vac metal type parts. So you can tell. I've not experienced any frustration with finding parts until just now. I can't quite figure out what that one is. I don't believe it's this. There's something slightly different. And that's common for me anyway, common experience for building brick sets, is finding something that looks really close to like 3 other parts and just figuring out which one the instructions are referencing. So I am continuing on, and I'm having, that's my border when I had the camera mounted, so I could tell where the edges were of what I was looking at. But anyway, I'm going to continue on and check back in as needed. But so far, still having fun. Everything's working really well. I'm enjoying this, and I miss this building process. Okay, so as far as the pieces, those pieces are actually, it appears to be anyway, these pieces, which you'll see those sort of flanges or whatever at the top, are not present in the diagram. And I think these are on here to make them easier to push into place, because otherwise you'd be pushing down on the hose and maybe not getting as snug a fit. But I believe that even though they don't look the same, those pieces are those pieces. And then I'm so far pretty convinced that that piece is not here. I'm going to continue looking, and maybe it's in another a bag that maybe I haven't opened yet or something. And it's not, it looks kind of like this one, but it isn't, because those pieces don't fit into this. So I'm going to keep looking. But here's where we are so far. Pretty cool. Still having fun. Well, look at that. I was wrong. Those do fit in to that piece. It just takes a little more pressure than I thought was necessary. So now we put that into place, and there we go. Moving on. Just a quick check-in. I'm now working on, this is still bag number 1. It's been over an hour, but I stopped for lunch and a couple other things. But we're now working on another segment. We've got the backpack piece in Pro. And then this looks to be maybe the hips. But we'll see. Still moving along. Still having fun. Everything's working out. No missing pieces. And then that's just what's left of bag 1. So we're getting pretty close to bag number 2. We'll check back in then. We've got a body. with, I think I can see where the arms are going to go here. The hips are down here. We've got these panels for the suited, non-exposed side of the leg. The vac metal pieces look fantastic. You got the interior of the backpack. This is turning out to be really fun, really cool. It's taken some time, but cool project. I'm really enjoying it. And as we can see, phase 2, here we go. Get these legs on here. All right, get some extra pieces from the first bags, trademark of building sets. And put what we've built thus far over here. And let's get these number 2 bags opened up. Not a whole lot here. This is kind of exciting that this is phase 1 seemed to be the biggest part of the project. Although there are a ton of little tiny itty bitty pieces in here. I guess just because the bags are smaller does not mean, oh gosh, the amount of work has lessened. Lots of tiny, similar looking pieces. Probably the worst part of any building. You know what I should be doing? I should be building Duplo. I don't know why I'm messing with this adult grade building stuff. I'm a Duplo guy. All right. There's that. All right, not so bad, not so bad. Little bitty pieces, but whatever. We will continue on. Book is slowly flattening out, making it a little bit easier to use. There's our body. Let's go. So here's the first and only problem I've run into so far. My understanding of the vac metal process is that it does make the plastic that it's bonded to more brittle. And you can see right here, obviously there's been a problem. Because first of all, this piece is not entirely coated. And second, part of it snapped off like it was like this in the package. So I hope this is not... I just noticed this when I was going through all the gold pieces over here. One, maybe it's an extra piece. Probably not. I'm not seeing another one like it. And two, I hope it's not a critical piece, or not too critical. Like every piece is critical in its way. But yeah, that is definitely an issue with that process, I guess. And this is where we are now. We've got part of a leg, and I'm continuing on with leg work. Okay, run into another challenge here. As you can see, I'm supposed to have 2 of those and 2 of those. And I've got one of each here, and then one of each here. And what you're supposed to do is put them together so that that bar slides all the way through that piece. And it's impossible because the fit is so tight. There's no way, like I can't get enough on that. Well, I guess I can go get pliers or something, but that shouldn't be necessary. You know what I mean? So that's a weird design choice, but yeah, I guess I'll go grab some pliers and ever so gently put them on top of that little ridge and push that further through. But yeah, it's not the best. So I got it done, and didn't even scar up the pieces really. Just took some smaller needle nose pliers and held them, like I said, right above that ridge and just kind of tapped them into place. So did get it done. And now I've got that to deal with. So we'll see how that goes. Just took these 2 parts, put them together as instructed. And look at that. We've got a leg. Not a ton of articulation, although it is interesting that it's on a ball joint like that. Pretty awesome. This is the mechanical leg with the outer skin of the spacesuit removed. I assume the rest of this will be the spacesuit leg. So let's get to it. And we now have a body, two legs, one in the spacesuit, one with exposed mechanics. And this thing is very cool, very fun, and it has all the satisfaction of a great brick building set as you see everything coming together. Everything stays together quite nicely. You can see the vac metal looks really nice. It's just turning out to be a really cool set, and I can't wait to see what the completed figure is going to look like. And it's also very satisfying size. It's not one of those things where, as you put it together, you realize it's much smaller than you thought it was going to be. It's turning out to be exactly the size that I kind of had in my mind. So that is also very cool. So once I get the arms on, we'll take another look and see what we got. And here we go. We have arrived at the part where the broken piece is needed. Fortunately, it is not, or it does not appear to be a critical component. It's just a cool piece of one of the gilded pieces. But there is not an extra, and there's also not even an extra of this kind of thing, or this kind of thing, in a different color. So I'm just going to be leaving that piece off and hoping that it doesn't turn out to be important. And we have an arm, minus the little doodad that's supposed to be right here, but otherwise looking pretty cool. And something I wasn't expecting, some articulated fingers with a pointer that just kind of goes up and down. But pretty awesome. And again, as problematic as that one little piece was, the vac metal really does look fantastic on this. So there we go. We'll come back when we've got another arm, and then we'll mount the arms on the body. Got two arms plugged in right there. You can see the shoulder piece. Articulation, pretty good. I mean, I wasn't I kind of thought this was just going to be a statue. So the fact that the articulation is as fun as it is, even though it's a little limited, but still, like, that it moves at all is cool. Again, making it more action figure-y. So just to take a look at what we've got before we finish this thing off with the helmet. There's a flap down there. I'm very impressed. And again, this has been a fun build. This will be a cool piece on the shelf. It really just will. So here we go. We're going to build the helmet and wrap and the display stand, I guess, and wrap this thing up. All right, we're in the workshop for final analysis of the JM Bricklayer Mechanical Spaceman. You can see we've got a little nameplate on the front of the stand. We'll take a closer look at the stand in a second. This is the Jackie Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation Multifunction Spacesuit Type Mark II. I don't know what all that means, but our bottom line here is this thing is very cool. So the stand has a couple of different modes. The fact that the spacesuit can just stand on its own is great, but the stand is obviously going to make it more secure. It's got, you put it together, it's got a nice glossy surface that I've already fingerprinted up, but whatever. It's got this back support that plugs into the bottom of the backpack, and you've got two different types of pegs. You've got this one that supports the Spaceman and gives it sort of a floating effect. And then you've got a shorter set of pegs that you can swap out so it actually stands on this. But I'm going to stick with the floating effect just because I think that looks cooler. As for the figure itself, the finished product, it's gorgeous. This is a very classy piece. This is the kind of thing that I think you would be comfortable like putting on your desk at work or bookcases behind you if you have a fancy office job or whatever. This will be appropriate whether it's in your toy room or in your office. Like, it's just cool. It looks awesome and it looks nice. It has a... I always liked those old building brick sets from like Sharper Image, I want to say it was, that looked fancy but also not, they just didn't have the whimsy of Lego, I think would be the way to put it. And this is that same kind of thing. Just every bit of it is cool looking. It's a concept. It's not just a, hey, here's a spacesuit. It's here's a spacesuit with the inner workings revealed on half of it. Again, that sort of cutaway type thing. I love this thing. I think it's great. If I'm being honest, I don't know that I would do another build like this because I really, really enjoyed it. But as far as it being content, it took many hours. I think I spent, and this is including breaks and like going out for lunch and dinner or whatever, but it was probably about 9 hours of my day putting this together. If I hadn't taken any breaks, maybe like 6, I don't know. But that's a lot of time investment for one video. And it's not like all of a sudden I'm going to get brick building enthusiasts tuning into my regular content. So for me, I don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze, but I am delighted to have gotten this thing. And you can see right there, you've got the sockets. You plug the stand right in and you've got a little floating effect, which, like I said, I prefer. I think it's really cool like that. That's how I'm going to display it. And I am going to display it. This is staying in my collection. I really dig this piece a lot. So there are links to purchase this set and to check out the JM Bricklayer site in the description for this video. So check it out. Find something. This is what I always say about like new toys or whatever. Little articulated fingers there. This is what I always say about like any kind of new toy I review or new toy line I review. Go check out the website. Find something you think looks cool and give it a try. See if you like it. It's always fun to find something new. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends about Needless Things. Go check out JM Bricklayer. And until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.